Hi there. Couple minutes late. I don't mind telling you that 40 minutes ago I was napping in the recliner. That's because I didn't get to bed really till 7 a.m. I mean, I may have slept for a little bit then, but next thing I know, I was up and I said, let me do that pre recorded video. I'll do it now. I was doing it at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then at 7 a.m., I finally was done and laid down. Strange schedule I keep sometimes. But you are here, as you often are. I can count on the family. 4 people watching that I know of with 2 likes already. I haven't done anything, and you like me already. Well, that is a sign of acceptance. We all want to be accepted. Hi, Barbara Kendall. How are you? Hello, everyone. Ted Richards, Mary Richards' son. Hello, Jack and everyone. Uh, Soon to be here. Yes, you're in anticipation. Hmm. Uh, the Grand Patriarch Richard Lyon from West Palm Beach, Florida, joins in. Now, you had some tornadoes near you in Palm Beach, right? Did you experience any turbulence, Richard? Hello from WPB. Yeah, radio stations used to have 3 call letters, some of them back in the day, and then they insisted that you have four call letters. I don't know if Roy is here, who I was talking to. I messaged. Who knows? He could have said, "You can forget that, pal." I don't know, but Roy would know all about that if he were here. Oh, what was that? What was that big station that I guess it was technically in the United States, but it was right near Canada. Oh, those were the days. Jack is guarding his Listerine. Can't go on the air with bad breath. Well, that's right. I just brushed my teeth. And sometimes that creates a foamy effect, or I forget to get it off my lips. Karen is always telling me about corners, corners. I see toothpaste. Yeah, she's always reminding me of that. Brenda Noyce is here. Hello, every mother's son. Come on down to my boat, baby. Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, the cleanup woman. I mean, she really cleans up, don't you, Judy? Hello, Jack and everyone. Betty Kendall is laughing at something. They'll be coming to take you away. They'll be coming to take you away. Jeannie Thompson. Hi, Jeannie. Little Jeannie. You've got so much love, little Jeannie. And I want you to be my acrobat. That was the one lyric Elton John ever wrote. And some writer reviewing the song said it was a corny lyric. And of course, they thought Gary Osborne. It wasn't Bernie on that song, it was Gary Osborne. Elton John thought that was a hoot, that his one lyric was panned, but it was attributed to Gary Osborne. Cheryl Everhart, how are you? Hi, Jack and the family. Chris Starry is here. Hello, everyone. Carlene Brown, not downtown William Brown. Hello, Jack from Florida. Now, did you have any bad weather? What's the temperature where you are, Carlene? I'd be curious to know. Alice Warner, all the young girls love Alice. Tender young Alice, they say, come over and see me. Come over and please me. Wait till my husband's away. I don't know why I'm doing this, Neo. Evening, sir. How are you? How are you? I'm glad you're here. Well, John Boren, we haven't seen him in a little while, but he's here tonight and just lost you. I moved the mouse and you disappeared. Uh, wow, they're coming in fast and furious. I moved the mouse down and found a whole bunch of new people. So John Boren, hiya, Jack, from Rocky Mountain High in Colorado Springs, and they're not kidding. I mean, there's a lot of people getting high in the Rockies. They got pot stores on every corner. I think they even have them in the schools now. in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Nancy DeMarco, good evening, everyone. Karen Phillips, hi, Jack. And now, what are you saying, Richard? No, but only 5 miles away, uh, there were two of them that they were out there in the sea, huh? Those tornadoes. That's a good place for them, but they must have been causing awesome waves for the surfers. I'll tell you. Hmm. Mary Aragon, hello, Jack and everyone. God bless you. Um, June Joyner, hi, Jack. Tim McKee, good evening. Where are you from, Tim? Where do you watch us from? Seems like a new name to me. Beg your pardon if you've been on before. Hunter Elgin, hello, Jack, and everybody from South Carolina, where they have sweet tea. Would you like some sweet tea? Would you like some sweet tea? And Tammy Wells, hey, hey, greeting from Australia. Yeah, we're pretty big in Australia. Well, the return of Jill. I wondered what happened to you, Jill. Just realized you're live. I realized it before that, but Karen kept saying, it's getting late, it's getting late. I usually come up here sometimes as much as 2 hours before, but I felt, we could kind of wing it tonight with stuff that we've already done in the last few days and have a Bob Joyce and Elvis chat. Those two gentlemen. You know them, don't you? Most of you are familiar. And So, yeah, we're off to a pretty big start here with 71 watching that I know of. Thomas Felipe. No, I want to give you a name that you don't have. Uh, Philipsy, sending love from Ohio, the great state of Ohio. Are they going to do the right thing in Ohio? I certainly hope so. Helen B., good day all from Perth, Western Australia. See, we have multiple people in Australia already. Shelley, the campaign president, campaign, is the right word, president? Campaign chairman for President Trump, but in the country of Canada. Yes, she has her bumper stickers and everything. How you doing, Shell? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's Mike up to? Looky here, we are live. Yeah. Um, and Chantel is here. Desjardins. Hello, Jack. Always there. Glad to hear you and enjoy all the subject matter. Well, I hope I come up with some. Where's my nose running? I don't have a cold or anything. I'm pretty good. Kathleen Wiedenbacher, not to be confused with Kathleen Whataburger, but we often call her that. It's Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. No, I better not. Somebody will be offended. John, what can I do? I have to be careful. Not here to turn people off, and I hope there's nobody here that is here to turn people off because we're family here. Judith Alvarez. Hi, everybody. This is Judith Alvarez from Las Vegas. Yes. Wishing wonderful things for all you people. Go see my friend Mike Candido, who's the drummer for Gary Puckett. Sometimes it's Gary Puckett there in Las Vegas, once or twice a year, but he's also in a doo-wop group called the Night Kings, and he's in a jazz group, the name I can't remember right now. But if you ever hear of the Night Kings going to be at one of the Vegas hotels, go see them and tell them you know me, and he'll say, yeah, so, Marty Greco saying hello to Nancy DeMarco. Marty, and yes, Tammy, gators in the backyard. In the river? Oh, dear. Fernando always used to tell me, he was my supervisor when I was semi-retired, but doing a cleaning job. He was going all around and putting out fires of people that didn't show up for work that night. In other words, he had to do the job. He'd say, I got to leave. I got to go to the other side of the river, which meant the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday, says Shell. Probably, right? Elvis with daily verses and prayers. Hi, Jack. It's Michelle from Australia. So that's at least three that we know of. Too bad we don't have the grand matriarch, that would make it four. But we have the grand patriarch here who narrowly escaped death in a tornado this week. That's right. He had to he had to clutch a road sign. That must have been one strong road sign, Richard. And Viva Las Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas in so long. You work with Gary Puckett, Jill? Really? What year? Did you know my friend Mike Candido, the drummer? He's got had the same band since like around, I don't know, 2010 or so. I got a pictures of Mike. He was one of my childhood idols here in the Hudson Valley. Lived on Midland Avenue, he did. So tell me about that. I'd love to know. Tammy Wells, I asked about sharks, not gators. Well, they're both lethal, you know. A lot of sharks in Washington, D.C. these days. You have to be very careful. Kim Lackey, who's not one. Hi, Jack and friends. Wow, they're coming through fast. And now a picture of a shark and a picture of a gator. Very good, Helen B. I like that. I like that. Um, yeah, they're creatures that you can encounter down where Richard lives, I think. Vicky Matthews is here. And Christari says, dates are confirmed. And so are the figs. Hello, Jack and everyone. Jane here from East Tennessee. Jane Justice. Let's have some justice. It's time for some justice. It's pronounced that way by people that don't usually get the last letter into words, you know. They'd say justice. I watched two Elvis movies before you came on, really. See, and I've never seen one completely through. I know that sounds weird, me saying that. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a batch of candy. Okay, I had to read the rest to make sure I wasn't going down towards a cliff, which I would then jump off of. But what a surprise when Jack realized that Jill's real name was Randy. Yeah, at some point you're going to find that out, you know? At some point, the jig is up, as they used to say. Sugar Kitty, I don't even know who you are, and you have hit the thanks button for $20. I want to hug the kitty. I love kitties. I just hugged a kitty. A kitty was sleeping with me on the recliner. That would be Willie Loomis from Dark Shadows. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sugar Kitty. That's very, very nice to start us off like that. That goes into my September, third week in September, till, and it'll be very helpful to me. Hello from Las Vegas. I love Elvis. I love Pastor Bob, and I love you too. Wasn't that nice? Um, and you're kind of new, right? At least some people never speak, and then they speak, and it's great. And that's a heck of a way to start off, Sugar Kitty. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Joe Worrell is here. He says, I talk too much. Talking too much. You know what it is, Joe? I've thought about what you said last week. And the difference between people like Rush or Michael Savage, the reason that it doesn't seem like they're talking too much when all they're doing is talking is they talk very slow and distinctly. But when you're just going 100 miles an hour, it just sounds overwhelming. So I need to slow down, but sometimes it's hard to do that. My band back Gary Puckett. Really, really, really. Yeah, because Gary, certainly when he does the Happy Together tour, the Union Gap doesn't go with him. My band back Gary Puckett. My husband was the drummer. Early 90s. Yeah, that's before Mike Candido. Not that Mike wasn't drumming then. He could have been up in the Catskills. He was the house drummer for a long time for the one next to the Neville. I know this. I know this. And I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it into my head. I mean, again, it's in my head. Not the Homowack. No, wasn't the Homowack. The Homowack didn't have bands, and they were before you got to the Neville. Boy, I know this like it's gone. They're both gone. I think there was a fire at the Neville. Isn't that sad? So that's cool. I'd love to know all about that. I had no idea. I had no idea he was here at the Paramount, and I said to Gary, I was saying, well, Gary, you know, there's no turning back now that you've been doing it this long. You're going to have to do this uh, forever, like Dick Van Dyke. And he says, "Well, I hope I have that kind of longevity." And then I said at the end, he signed my picture and everything. And I said, "God bless you, Gary." And he said, "He already has. He already has. He's a good Christian man, Gary Puckett." Yeah, yeah. Oh, Mike has told me so many fun Gary Puckett stories. Um, Jill must be Lady Willpower. When you think about it, those early Gary Puckett songs, those that and Young Girl were kind of risque. Um, Young Girl more than Lady Willpower, but I'll tell you, in 1968, I was listening to WABC radio. I was really, I loved the Beatles and everything, but now I was turning my enthusiasm up a higher notch in the summer of '68. And Lady Willpower would come on WABC Music Radio every hour and a half, every hour and a half. And that's they played those 30 hits, the top 30 hits, over and over, and then they would sneak in something else to try to appear that it's fresh. But I would always get thrilled when we were going to see my mom. This would be my sister Loretta King. We were driving from Mayapack to see my mom in the insane asylum, and we would be listening to WABC on the way to or fro. Do you realize what you just said, Jack? Yes, yes. I told you she had a few nervous breakdowns along the way, but it only took 2 weeks for the medication to work, and then you'd never know there was anything wrong with her. It used to be harsh drugs, and then they came up with something a little better. So there you go. So she was only gone for a few weeks at a time. If you just take your medications, you don't shoot up the school. But now we coddle the mentally ill and we say, oh, it's okay, until they shoot up the school. And then we blame the legal gun owners. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I've got no use for the vice president and the governor of Minnesota. Minneapolis, give me a break. Minneapolis was burning to the ground, and he was there with his thumb up his keister. He was, Nancy. It's just the truth. And Helen B continues with some very inventive emojis. Is that a twister or what? It almost looks like something else, like in that Woody Allen movie. Everything you always wanted to know about sex. Woody and others played a certain character in one part of the movie. Someone will understand what I'm saying. Elvis, Elvis for Richard Lyon. I watched two Elvis movies, and what were they, Richard? Jenny Hayes is here. Where are you from, Jenny? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, thank you so much for the kitty. Thank you so much. I can't believe how fast this is going. Okay, back this way now. We did say hello to Judith. And if I miss you, it's not intentional. Trust me. Michelle from Australia. So I think we've got like 4 from Australia now. Everybody from Australia say hello. I wonder if any of you live close to each other. You could have a luncheon. You could have a luncheon. So that is really cool, Jill, that you work with Gary Puckett. Over You was always one of my favorite songs. I love that song a lot. A lot. And I played these songs on the radio. I did on Oldies Radio. So I got to get back to where I'm supposed to be here. If I miss somebody in the process, again, it's unintentional. Marty's talking to John Boren. Kostari and Nancy are intertwining. Elvis was Ms. Boy. What's that supposed to mean, Joe Worrell? Don't tell me I got to worry about you now. We're on patrol here after last night. We're on patrol. It's like I got to have my hand on the trigger sometimes. And I don't want to do that. We're all adults here. I wouldn't go on. Let me see. Who can I pick? Who can I pick? I wouldn't go on a Kamala Harris group and start, attacking what the people were saying. Anytime I have ever responded to people that don't know evil when it's staring them right in the face because they think they're going to get a handout most times. Um, when that happens, um, it just goes nowhere. You're never going to convince them. Ron White called one of his comedy specials, "You Can't Fix Stupid." You can't fix stupid. He has a whole lead into when he says that big line. You can't fix stupid. Um, so, Sugar Kitty, yes, I am new. And look at that. Isn't that so nice of you to do that? Can't get over that. Mary Aragon watching the NASCAR race on the side, hoping Kyle Larson, number 5, can get another one. So you're into that, huh? We used to have the Orange County Fair Speedway down here, but it seems to be becoming a thing of the past. They might have the Eastern states down there, but I am told that the last Orange County Fair that they just had in July, that will be the last one. End of an era. End of an era. It used to be so special, but you've got to keep up the specialness. You can't take the 4-H animals away and acts that are for every generation. You can't just have these Black Sabbath tribute bands, you know? That's not the core audience of the Orange County Fair. J. Ken Rain from Mississippi. Rain. Hi, J. Ken. Welcome from Mississippi. See, we're getting new people here. I believe this is catching on somewhat. Michael Wiggins, hello, everybody, from McNairy County, Tennessee. So we've got several from Tennessee. And out of all the celebrities I have ever met, Randy Travis and Patty Loveless, Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, and Dennis Quaid were the nicest. Doesn't surprise me that Dennis Quaid was nice. His new film, Reagan, is just about ready to come out, right? Go see Dennis Quaid as Ronald Reagan. You want to support those films in the theaters. That would be great. I'm going to go. Big Dennis Quaid fan since I saw him in the night the lights went out in Georgia. And I wasn't there to see him. I was there to groove on Christy McNichol. Yeah. Joanne Parker is here. Welcome, Joanne. Elvis was from Mississippi. Right. What's wrong with raccoons, Brenda? Well, she had them trying to get into her house, into her abode. They were trying to get in the roof. So you just got to seal. You got to have someone. The neighbors had to do this because they got squirrels and everything. They were becoming like a winter boarding house in their attic. I think they ran a line up for cable TV. Raccoons are cool, but you don't want them in your house. So we feed raccoons. Just 2 arrive tonight. Every night, a few raccoons show up. Hello, downtown William Brown. How you doing? Welcome. My goodness, 123 watching right now. And here comes Cindy in South Louisiana talking to Kathleen Wiedenbacher. Are you located in Louisiana? I'm just curious. And Sam Sammy, saying hello to Cindy. Hello, Sam Sammy. Welcome. Raccoons love chicken wieners. They eat just about anything, but not everything. They don't like mashed potatoes. There's certain things they leave behind. We found that out. But they are prone to eat stuff that you wouldn't think they would eat. Joseph, here's somebody new. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. Licavoli. You may say it a different way. Welcome, Joseph. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. Think you're new. We're here most Saturday nights at 10 o'clock, but we usually do a midweek show. I didn't do it this week, but we popped on last night at 11:15, and we're on for 2 hours. I was watching, the Democratic convention just so I could throw up. Hey, I never said Obama and Clinton, I'm talking about President Clinton, weren't great speakers, but they're full of donkey dust. They're full of donkey dust. And I think even they know it. That's what's so terrible. How can you do that to the country when if we were to play tapes of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and so many other people that spoke at that convention of what they had said just a few weeks prior, if not a lot more recent, about Kamala Harris, they would just walk away with their head down in shame. So give me a break. We know that. We know that. AOC, same thing 5 weeks ago saying, "Oh, people think when if President Biden leaves the ticket, then the natural successor is uh, is uh, is Kamala Harris." But maybe it's time to wipe the whole slate clean. And then fast forward to the Democratic convention, and the word isn't Democratic; it's progressive convention. And she's speaking so glowingly of her, so glowingly of her. How do you live with yourself? It's all about power. They don't love America. Ha 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 ha, says Anne. But I don't know what she's reacting to, so I have to keep my eyes on Anne now. Well, I haven't said anything about our usual topic really. Had a friend that hunted raccoons, always been a big animal lover. I couldn't shoot a thing. Yeah, that's terrible hunting raccoons. Give them a break. Um, Joseph, are you in the medical profession? Are you? Are you? What do you do? Jody Smith is here. Hi, Jody Smith, one of our loyal family, hijack and family. Work ran long. Yeah. Yeah. Some people still work. I have to remember that. I officially retired from a daily grind job in February of 2022, but then I got blessed by working with a 95-year-old gentleman, helping him out. About 6 or 7 months of the year, I would have a string of days that went on for almost 2 years. And then he passed away. That was a lucrative job, too. So that's why, it every little bit helps here when you hit the thanks button. And there's also Cash App for those of you who have Cash App. And my handle, lowercase letters, is Media Guy, and the number's 56, Media Guy 56 for Cash App. Ruthie, no killing of raccoons. I agree with that. Uh, I'm not scared of raccoons. They want food. Yeah, and they're usually pretty good natured. Um, Bob Joyce, who is he? Well, I've only got about I don't know 200-300 videos for you to sort through. Maybe you have seen some of them. Um, so that's not easily answered. Um, we tell the story here. Pierogi Josie is here. Hey, Jack. Hello, Pierogi Josie. Next week is Onion Fest in Pine Island, New York. If anybody can get there, the Polish Club in Pine Island. Jimmy Sturr, 18-time Grammy winner, starts at 2 p.m. Get there early, and that kitchen will be producing some great Polish food and some luscious desserts as well. Robert Wayne Joyce is not Bob Joyce. Melissa VD. Hi, Vicky. So we had to do that video. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's doing pretty well on Robert Wayne Joyce, answering one of the new programmers. There's a whole lot of new voices, especially on TikTok, doing these very short videos with pictures and a voice that sounds like, well, it's a familiar voice to us who does other things. I don't know if it's AI or what, but they don't back up what they say much of the time. And just to say Robert Wayne Joyce was killed in a car accident, I had to deal with that. Some of the stuff they're putting up seems like they may have been somewhat inspired by me. And so I have no evidence of that. I can't find any evidence of that. We're talking about Matt and Sabrina's father here, and I guess Tom. Um, and so we're talking about their father, and to say something like that and not give proof of it. Um, you gotta don't be in such a hurry. You don't have to do something that uh, do a 2 minute video and explain yourself a little bit. Woodsley Summercraft, which is Rob. Hello, everyone. Hi, Woodsley. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, no, I've never killed anything except maybe a fly, and I felt bad about that, Melissa VD. I will go if I see a little crawling creature on the ground. I walk around it. Well, John, you've got to do this. I'll ask the same thing of you. Allegedly, give me something, because it's not the kind of thing you want to say unless we got something, to justify the comment. You know what I mean? This guy said that, but that he didn't give any kind of evidence at all. Semi deers always come to me for food. I feed them all. See, in a way, John, it would kind of tie up some loose ends to the story. How did Bob Joyce uh, hook up with Willino? I mean, what happened to Robert Wayne Joyce? Now, people get divorced and things like that. We just don't know. So it does tie up some loose ends, but I can't find a connection to that. I can't find a connection to that. Anyone else ordered Bob's new CD? I ordered mine right away. Good for you, Rob. Good for you. I know people here have ordered the CD. I have it on Spotify. We've played one song. We'll probably try to do another video where we play a second song and see if that's allowed. See, I have to do that pre-recorded. I have to give YouTube a chance to decide whether it is okay for air. And so if I do it in a pre-recorded video, they can tell me pretty quickly whether I can put it up. Sometimes it'll mean no monetization of the video, which is fine, or share the profits from the video, like with Jesus save me from my sin, and that's fine too, because I want to have a video that, once in a while I want to get a video up that has some music in it. I just wish we could do that. Then you get into the problem with other countries, that are going to block it. That can happen too. Even if you have a music license, you're not going to have one for Botswana. It's so expensive to have a music license in Botswana. You're Italian. I had a feeling that was true. I grew up with Italian Thanksgivings and Christmases and Easters with the Candido family. I was just talking about Gary Puckett's drummer, Mike Candido. We were over there here in the Hudson Valley for those holidays. Never the day before, though, right? When you have, like, on Christmas Eve, you have all the fish and stuff. That was just for family. But my mom and I were invited for the actual day, and they are the best. Italian holidays are the very, very best. Start off with the ziti and the meatballs and the best Italian sausage you can find, in some beef in there, right? In this sauce that's so amazing. That's the just the first course. Then you're going to go to turkey with the roasted potatoes and the stuffing, and unbelievable. They take a little break as they're talking, and then they hit you with the turkey and stuff. Melissa is talking about her 4 cats. We used to have 7. When I moved in here, Karen had 7 cats. Oh, Joseph, your birthday is Christmas, so you kind of felt cheated growing up, no? Even if it was like the day after, it'd be good. But yeah, I've heard of people that have December 25th as their birthday. Ronnie Tuff was the best drummer. What did Ronnie play? I mean, what group did Ronnie play? By the way, rest in peace, Greg Kinn. I meant to say that yesterday in our Pop On to Pop Off. Our Love's in Jeopardy. And what is it? They don't write him like that anymore. The breakup song, right? From the Greg Kinn band. So rest in peace, Greg Kinn. Now the 80 stars are dying off. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Russell Hitchcock co-lead singer of Air Supply, just got over COVID again, and he's back on the road. He and his partner, uh, his musical partner, have been doing this since the '80s, and they don't have to do it, but they just love it. They've made their money, but they love being on the stage, and so they're back out there. They had to cancel some dates when John got sick, and Russell got sick, and he's had a stalker issue, some kind of a thing going on with somebody also harassing his wife. So that's been something that's been going on. He says for 2 years. Certain celebrities have had this kind of problem. He was a drummer for Elvis. I see. See, I should know that. See, if I was really an Elvis aficionado, I would know that, but I don't. Hey there, Cheryl Larson. How was your Saturday? um, yeah, I have 4 cats too, and they are 2 boys and a girl. And then one that we're not sure about. What? I think I counted 3 in that mix there. See, I should know that, huh? Yeah, great drummer. As I think back to the Elvis songs. So everybody's talking amongst themselves here. Vicky is talking to John Boren. Maybe I should have had more content now. Roma Crabtree. Hey, I just got the message for your show. Just got the message. Well, if you weren't near your device the first time, maybe, if you walk away from your device, I don't know, but you seem new, Roma Crabtree. Where are you watching us from? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, what sitcom of the 60s had a Mrs. Crabtree or a Miss Crabtree? Was it the Andy Griffith Show? I know Helen was the main teacher, but was it Dennis the Menace? Was it Leave It to Beaver? There was a Miss Crabtree. It's way back in my mind, I remember the character. 2 girls, I got you. Yes, welcome to new people. That's always good. Like Anthony Wood. Hi, Jack. You're not Anthony at all, are you? You're Helen from Florida. So we have 2 Helens here. We have Helen B and perhaps Helen W from Florida. I'm 2 cousins to Jerry Lee and Mickey Gilly. My mom, 1 cousin. So you're also related to Jimmy Swaggart, right? You're in the Jimmy Swaggart. He's part of the family too, right? Because he certainly is cousins to Jerry Lee Lewis and Mickey Gilly. I said that last week. We were talking about how Jimmy Swaggart would say when he was preaching on the road before he couldn't preach on the road anymore because of incidents that happened. But he said, I've got 1 cousin that started honky tonk, and I got another one who started rock and roll. And well, Jerry Lee did have a lot to do with the start of rock and roll. So that's a lot of fun. Yes, I'm sorry for your losses, John and Ted. I can only see so much because it's going by pretty quick, but I'm glad you are catching that. Elvis always introduced Ronnie. Well, a good singer does. You gotta mention your band. Oh, I keep the phone up for a reason. But if I don't have the right end, I'm pressing the wrong. I'm never gonna see anything. Look at William Brown. Went to my Cash App. That's Media Guy, lowercase letters. Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. $10 from downtown William Brown on the Cash App. Thank you very much, William Brown. You're a multiple giver, given more than once, that's for sure. And with Cash App, I get more of it and I get it faster. But I'm very thankful for the thanks button, and I'm very thankful for Cash App. it just helps me out to get to a certain goal. Obviously, I don't get like 80,000 views on everything that I release. We do a live show, and we're hoping to certainly go over 1,000, and sometimes it's up considerably more than that, but sometimes not so much. So this is like an insurance policy that I will have what I need as I try to supplement a pretty small retirement, which got smaller this year. I have a tickle. So let me have some water. I got this Adams Fairacre Farms water. By the way, I'm going to show you uh, my new product. I promised somebody, maybe you're here, maybe it was you, could have been Ted, I don't know, that I would open up my emergency food bar tonight. Well, I'll tell you, I was spent after 2 hours last night. I'll be honest with you, but yet not enough to really sleep. I mean, I slept and then kind of, well, it's just like this nap I had about an hour or so ago. I didn't never sleep that close to a broadcast, but I guess Karen would have woke me up if she knew it was getting way too close. U.S. needs a big street dance. Bring back Elvis. Well, if Elvis is still with us, he has a whole other mission in life. Okay, Miss Crabtree was in our gang. I know. I heard about it. My back is so itchy. Forgive me here. I'm going to do something I've never done on the air. I'm going to take my hydrocortisone and put a little dab on my toothbrush, not the one I would brush my teeth with. I'll put that on there. Yeah. I went to the dermatologist about my itchy left shoulder, thinking they would have something really good, and she gives me C'est La Vie itch cream. I thought, I came all the way down here to Monroe, New York for this, and you think you've solved the problem? And I put that down here. And that may solve the problem, say. She had this real fancy name for what I have. Richard Lyon. Oh my goodness, the Grand Patriarch coming in with a $25 thanks button. Thank you so much, Richard Lyon. You are a good man. You are a good man. Multiple times he has tipped me. That's what it is. It's a tip. And I thank you so much. So we're coming on strong here between you and the kitty, like $45 on the thanks button, and I appreciate that oh so much. Richard from West Palm Beach with his lovely wife Vivian. By the way, you haven't sent me a picture of you two. Have you? In my email? I don't think you have. So it was our gang. Roma Crabtree knew that. Yeah. Yeah. I can. It's all coming back now. I'm thinking Alfalfa and Spanky and Darla, and who else was in our gang? Oh, the dog. What was the dog's name? With the white dog with a black patch over his right eye. Jaron, 1956. You were a 56 baby like myself. Yes, he introduced them all. Ronnie is just the only one I can recall. What about Glenn Harden on keyboards, um, especially in the later years? The great Glenn Harden. Has he been to Household of Faith? I don't know. Um, Michael says, I was online comparing pics of Elvis and brother Bob and was wondering if he isn't Elvis. Really? You came to that conclusion? Couldn't he have the pages taken down? There has to be some truth, or it's spreading false accusations, right? No, we speak of possibilities. We could be wrong. We could be wrong. Um, Pastor Bob is somewhat philosophical about it, it seems, because he knows that people come to that church from all over the world, not just because they happen to stumble upon him, but programmers like myself told you about him and led you to watch him preach, you know? So we do play a positive role, but he's got to get a bigger church quickly. You can't wait. So it's Christmas would be the latest. Otherwise, you got to find a building you could use until the property is developed. Faith Lloyd, hi Jack. I'm late, but I made it finally. Hope you're doing okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And by the way, thanks, Richard. Appreciate it. Marlene, hi, Jack from Buffalo, New York. So we've got Faith and we've got Marlene and we've got Sandy Davis, hi from East Tennessee. I think we've got all parts of Tennessee covered. We have 3 or 4 people here from Tennessee tonight. 128 watching, 61 likes. Yes, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We went over 8,600 now. That's good. Love to get to 10,000 before Christmas. um, I'm glad you're here, Sandy Davis and Marlene. Really, really am. Are things rocking in Buffalo tonight? They had the big festivals in Erie, Pennsylvania. I guess it goes on one more day tomorrow. Zimbabwe, however they say it. Zimbabwe. Kenny Olowin from the Polka Jammer Network runs things over there. Lenny Gomolka played recently. He's a big polka guy. Jack, don't forget Froggy from our gang. Froggy, yeah. Sounds familiar. Hi, I'm on my husband's phone, Helen. I knew my cousins. They were a lot older than me. I'm talking about Jerry Lewis and Mickey Gilley. My daddy said I was crazy like Jerry Lee. I was 4 when Elvis was gone or when gone. Love you all. Well, I should tell you here, Helen, that there are people here that don't believe Elvis is gone. So I don't want it to come to a shock as a shock to you, you know. But watch my videos here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned as I tell the story. Good one possibly to start with is The Verdict, which is, wow, it's still the #1 video, and it's an older video now. And it's up to like 183,000 views now. Yeah, that is the #1. Darlene Koberstein is here. Hi, Darlene. Thomas says, "Show me the way to the whiskey bar." No, don't ask me why. I was never a whiskey person. I'm a vodka person. A little bit of tequila, a little bit of gin. You know, if you can make me a nice Tom Collins, I'll enjoy that. But that's an old person's drink. You go to a new bartender and say, "I'll have a Tom Collins," and they look at you crazy. And the next thing you know, they're going to their book. And once they go to the book, the chances of them mastering it is 0 to none. 0 to none. I had to go up to the local Stewart's here. I don't know how many people of you have Stewart's nearby you. It's basically a East Coast chain of convenience stores, I think. We have a fly today or some kind of a little bug. To get hot dog buns because we had some Sabret hot dogs, and I got a quart of milk. But Karen gives me $4 and says, "Buy me $2 scratch-off tickets." And so young lady helped me, and I put down the $4 because I know you can't use a credit card for scratch-offs. And I said, just give me 2 of the same of a $2 ticket. And she did, but then she, when it came time to ring up my hot dog buns and my quart of milk, which I was going to use credit for, I didn't have any cash in my wallet. Um, she put it all on there, including the $4, and that messed up everything. And so you said, "Well, use another card." That didn't work. And then there was this nice gentleman next to me. I would say he's in his 30s, maybe, tall guy, kind of a bald, kind of a Bruce Willis type, in his prime, that kind of guy. And he says, "Don't worry about it, buddy." And I didn't catch on because um, he was paying for my hot dog rolls and my milk. He was paying it forward. He was paying it forward. So I said, "Well, thank you so much," as I realized what was happening, and he was leaving. He said, "Barbara, let me help that old guy out." That was nice. That was nice. But yeah, you can't. What I should have done is I should have paid for the hot dog buns. I always do it this way. I don't know why I reversed it. Hot dog buns and the milk, and then taken out the $4 and said, "Can I have $2 scratch offs, please?" Oh, you love Stewart's when you're in New York, huh? Yeah. They have all that. Oh, it's so hard to work at a place like that because they got ice cream and people want this and that. There's so many jobs you have to do at a Stewart's. They got hot food in the center island. They got to fill up the coffee and all that. And then you got to worry about the gas customers, the scratch offs. Now they have pizza. You got to make pizza pies. They're nothing special, but they're not terrible either. Oh, it's a hard job. I would never, come down on a steward's worker because they're doing 1,000 different things. It seems they're always hiring. They're always hiring. How are things in Katonka City tonight, Marlene? Katonka City. Is that where they make the Tonka trucks? Thank you for your prayers and condolences, says Vicky Smith. Thomas High, love. Love that Doors lyric. See, I'm missing stuff because it's going by so fast. Is there bars, Thomas, that just serves whiskey? This never really developed too much of a taste, but if you give me a whiskey sour, you put that frothy mix in there, and I'll probably be okay with it. But I'm definitely more of a vodka person. Jimmy Stir Vodka, you can order it online. Sturr, Jimmy Stir Vodka. So you're saying the dog's name was Petey on the Little Rascals. That sounds right. Yes, Anthony Wood, even though you're not really Anthony Wood. I understand. Petey. Boy, it's been a long time since I've seen those episodes. So we're just basically having a chat tonight. I'm not doing much content, but yet we're holding an audience of 126 and hello replay crowd, asking you to watch our pre-recorded video. I will show you a picture that I got about excited about at first until I came in closer on it. Again, thank you, William Brown. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I have no idea. When I do live, I never know if you're going to be able to see anything. I'm not going to come in close yet. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Ah! Oh, let's turn off this light, see if that helps. Not a bit. You can see the picture. Here we are. Is that Bob Joyce at Lisa Marie's private funeral? That's what they're saying. It doesn't even really look like Lisa Marie, right? One of the new Elvis programmers put this up. So I came in close. Because it's definitely Lisa Marie there. Priscilla. You can see You can see Priscilla pretty good. I think that's Priscilla, right? Yeah. But then I came in close on the face because there were no phones, there were no pictures, no video allowed at the Lisa Marie private funeral. You had to sign an NDA, only close family and friends. And then I came in close. There, that's not too bad. I don't think that's Bob Joyce. The eyes are wrong. What do you think? I mean, I would love to say we have a shot from Lisa Marie's private funeral, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Does he even have a mustache? It's hard to tell. I think I can come in any closer. What do you think? What's your opinion? That was the title of a talk show with my first radio boss. 9:30 weekday mornings. What's your opinion with Hank Seraphin? Somebody posted that. Yeah, you can't see it well enough. I understand you. I understand, but it's a blurry picture to begin with. You know what I mean? It's a blurry picture. Hard to see, but looks like him. We have a hard to see, and you can't see it well enough. I read the book several times by Gail Brewer Giorgio. Me too. And though everything that I've heard and seen, I think she was on to something before the majority of everybody else was on to something also. Yeah, came with that cassette tape. I think the cassette tape, though, is debunked as not being Elvis, but they mentioned the person who did it. I don't know for sure. Doug Barlow, no, I don't think that is Bob Joyce. Okay, we'll put you down as a no, but you seem new. Where are you watching us from, Doug Barlow? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. Nancy Whitmore is here saying good night. Did I miss you saying hello? It can happen. Good night, folks. Have to get up early in the morning. Well, I'm glad you stopped by, Nancy. Sorry if I missed you the first go round here. Um, Doug says no to that. You're not new. Well, that name Barlow, I don't remember. But some people you don't really, they're here, but they don't really comment. Where do you watch us from? What are you saying, Darlene? I don't think it's Bob Joyce. Gotcha. Certainly not Bob Joyce, says Ted Richards. Yeah. Chris Starry? Nah. North Carolina for Doug. Okay, North Carolina. Yes, I lived in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You probably heard me say this before, which was just up the road from Charlotte, North Carolina. People would come from your state to come to where I was living because the gas was cheaper. Red Hawk, hi, Jack. How are you, sir? Well, don't call me sir. We're all friends here. Good, Red Hawk. How are you feeling? Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi, who I went to school with along with Karen. Hi, Jack. Do you think Lisa Marie's book is going to have some clues in it for, kind of chaining to Bob Joyce? That would be interesting if she did. Well, Riley would have to approve all that, and I don't know that she would want to do that. So I guess if I had to guess, I'd say no, but I couldn't say it with certainty. That's for sure. Brenda Gaskill. I thought someone said the pamphlet to it had his name on it. Yeah, not a pamphlet. It's, like a funeral card. Here it is. Uh, Way too small for you to read. Um, let's see. Where's my $1.25 Dollar Tree glasses? Oh, they're on my control board. It's funny. I have this really nice German control board, but I only use one of the, well, we call them pots, potentiometers, and that's for the mic. The rest is done without the use of the board. But I need it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not even going to be able to see it with this, right? Yeah. I've had to use magnifying glasses, but see, you just can't really make it out. But Austin Butler sang a song. Tom Presley uh, sang a song. I didn't say Tom Joyce. I said Tom Presley, and the it was officiated, according to this, by Pastor Bob Joyce. Rolling Hills, it says. Rolling Hills is was the development that Elvis bought Vernon a home in, and then a few weeks before Elvis's death, that home was sold in Rolling Hills. The eulogy given by Pastor Bob Joyce, it says on that card, but that could be faked. That's why I say we speak of possibilities. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about the whole thing. So what else do we have here? Here's Tom Presley, who is said to have sang 2 songs at the Lisa Marie private funeral, not the one you saw on TV. Pastor Bob Joyce was not at the public memorial. He preached opposite the public memorial in Benton, Arkansas, and sang a tribute song to Lisa Marie during the praise time service. It wasn't even a praise song. No One Stands Alone, which Lisa Marie had used as a tribute song to her father, Elvis Presley, and did a video. And then she did what Natalie Cole did. There were times when both Elvis and Lisa was singing a duet together in that tribute video to her father, Elvis Presley. So there's millions and millions of songs. And during the praise service, which was opposite the public memorial for Lisa Marie, Bob Joyce sang that very song with all he had. No One Stands Alone. What are the odds of that? You got a better chance of winning Powerball, right? And supposedly during that praise service, he muttered into the microphone, "I love you, Yisa. I love you, Yisa," which was Elvis's nickname for Lisa Marie. Supposedly only when he was mad did he use Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie, that kind of thing. So there you go. What can I tell you? All these coincidences. That's all they are. Right, Jody? Jody. Love you all too. Love you all too. Um, is it possible, Jack, that you're Bob Joyce? Just teasing around, but wouldn't rule it out just yet. So you're speaking of possibilities, aren't you, Red Hawk? You're just speaking of possibilities. I got you. I wish I had that hair. I'll tell you what. Every man wants that hair in their older age, you know. John Bourne, Jack, what are your thoughts on all the people claiming to be illegitimate children of Elvis Presley? Well, obviously, everyone is a separate case, and I don't have their DNA. I know about the woman who wrote a book. That's Debbie Presley, right? There's a guy who calls himself Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. He's a great Elvis imitator. He's well booked. And he says that his mother was one of the Harrah's Vegas showgirls, and she got pregnant to Elvis Presley. Somehow that sounds plausible. He tells it, like he's, very serious about what he's saying. And then we have Tom Presley, who I just showed you, who I think that in that case, Elvis would have hooked up with Dennis Quaid's mother. There's a resemblance there. What can I tell you, And now we have the chap. What's his name? Chappie there from France, is it? Who supposedly went to the upstairs portion of Graceland when he was there. He's a very good-looking boy. Yes, he looks like Elvis Presley. I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. I think that Elvis could very well have had half a dozen love kids. I think so. But there are people that see that as blasphemy. So, what are you going to do? What do you think, Brenda? I mean, well, yeah, Brenda and Barbara, what do you think? Brenda's leaving again. Are you really leaving, Brenda? Do you have bats in your belfry again? Or raccoons trying to get in? What's going on? Or you just got to get up early? Hmm? Um, oh, you won't want to leave now because we have another Brenda. What kind of house does Bob Joyce live in? Do you know? Well, there were people that sent me photos, which I did not put up. Who knows where that email is? I should have bookmarked it, right? But seemed like a trusted source was telling me that she befriended somebody at the church. She didn't live anywhere near there. She wasn't going to be coming back soon. But she said since they had time to kill after the service, she said, "Would you mind showing me where he lives?" And they drove by a two-story kind of white house with a gate, but the gate was open. In front of the house was a black SUV, kind of like the one that goes to Graceland sometimes, kind of like the one that goes to Graceland. And so, is that is that where Spa Guy went, or did he go elsewhere? I don't know. Some people have said there's two houses. One that they want you to think is where he lives, and one where he actually lives. It gets confusing. It gets confusing. So, it's nice. Who knows what it looks like inside? I'm sure it's probably very nice. Marianne Rossi, Jack, you always said you wouldn't feel comfortable going. Are we talking the Tibetan here? What is this? Going Tibetan? What about now? Hope you're feeling changed. I would love to see you walk in there and see it. Oh, I think you meant Benton, right? It was just a typo. Um, yeah, I would go on my way to Texas. I would go. They don't let me in. They don't let me in. Gene Ho would let me in, but it's not his decision alone to make. I've been told people that go to the church watch me there. Um, so I would attempt to. Yeah. I would love to see you walk in there and see if you're recognized by a lot of people. Well, I'd be just going there to praise the Lord. I'm real serious when it comes to church. You don't go for any other reason. And I wouldn't try to force. I don't know about taking one of those 8x10s or whatever and standing on the line for him to autograph it and expecting he's going to want his picture taken with me. Somebody holds my phone. That's pushing it seems. I don't know. I would know, when he came in. I would know. I would get the vibe. I would know whether the vibe is, I love you, but keep away. There was that guy, Jesse, that years ago they thought he was Elvis, but I do think that holds water, and I don't think that holds water in its bull. You're not talking about that wrestler guy, are you? That looked really nothing. He had big biceps and he was all greasy, like he lathered himself in olive oil, and he's got the bangs and everything. People trying to say that was either Jesse or that was even Elvis, which makes no sense at all. You hear some weird scenarios. Weird scenarios. I don't say scenarios because I'm not from England, even though my mum was. But now everybody here in America seems to say scenario. Would be interesting if the house he lives in looks like Graceland on the inside. Brenda Gaskill says yes to praise the Lord. Well, that's right. That's what you go to church for, right? You go to praise the Lord. I don't want to go with any ulterior motives. Now, to meet the pastor afterwards or what have you, that'd be wonderful, but that doesn't mean it would be wonderful for him, and I would respect that and just walk out. Yes, I meant Benton. I'm texting. Sorry. Yeah, well, we all do that. And then there's that autocorrect that happens sometimes. How do you turn off autocorrect? I don't want it to autocorrect. I'd rather make the mistake myself than to have a word that I really wanted in there and it's turned to something else. Hello, Kara. How are you? Where are you watching from? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Even Heart's Wild, and it's not even midnight. Um, Heart's Wild has come out of her tomb, and she is here early. Of course, it's after dark, probably where you are, right, Heart's Wild? So you're safe. You're safe. Honky Tonk Man was the wrestler you're referring to. He looked nothing like Elvis, exactly. Yes, you're in New York. You've told me that before. Are you in the middle of the state, like not too far from Syracuse? Is that right? Or am I confusing you with somebody else? You're in North Dakota with a governor who is returned with those bushy eyebrows, but he wants a job in the administration should President Trump get in. Suburb of Buffalo. Cool. Yeah. All those cool names up there, Tonawanda and Chautauqua County. That's where I lived. Fredonia, Dunkirk, two different places, but next to each other, are in Chautauqua County. I remember going to the Chautauqua Center to see Kreskin do a show. He was very entertaining, very good. A mentalist. Remember Kreskin? And the Bills lost today. They played on a Saturday. I thought they only played on Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Huh, that's interesting. They want to get as many games in before they're playing in the snow. So, wow, let's do Robert Kennedy content, huh? He got the biggest ovation at a Trump rally. Where are you, M. Silva, when I need you? I want to get your reaction. Um, he got the biggest reaction, according to President Trump, that any guest ever got at a Trump rally. And he let him speak for a while. I think he's going to be working with the Trump administration should we hold back the forces of evil and President Trump get back in. I'd rather have a mean tweet in a country that is respected again and not going off the deep end, going towards complete and utter bankruptcy where Xi becomes the president of the United States, et cetera, et cetera. How about let's stop chemically castrating children? Okay, that's something we don't mention enough about Vice President Harris and the governor from Minnesota. How evil is that? How evil is that? Brian Kilmeade's Saturday show was on, and his guest just before I rushed over here was Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, and somebody that he did a movie with, talking about child trafficking, crimes against children, chemically castrating a child because he saw something on TikTok and thinks it's cool without parental consent. When you get to that level, we're talking about you're in North Korea or Russia. These things have to be abolished from the United States. They're not part of American values. Now, if you're 18 and you want to chemically castrate yourself, that's fine. I don't think the country should have to pay for it, though. If you want to get a sex change, whatever. I know someone that used to work at the Colonial Diner. He was this handsome lad. I understood that he was gay, uh, from, not this country. And boy, I tell you, he had it all. Good looking man, nice build, everything. And he's now a blonde woman. And he's going to Ecuador to get more surgery to look even more like a woman. I haven't seen him. I saw a picture, you know. He was a handsome dude. And he like Bruce Jenner, he went all the way with the surgery, you know what I mean? That's commitment. I guess you can use the ladies' room if you go that far with it. I guess I have to respect that. um, as your personal choice. Sandra Fair or Farrar. I thought it was interesting that Pastor Bob spoke of attending tent meetings when he was a kid. just like Elvis did. Another coincidence. Yeah, attending or watching them on TV or whatever. He was definitely talking about Oral Roberts, but there were others. There were others, of course. Oral was the big, he was the Joel Osteen of that era, Oral Roberts. And he often used the same, he didn't travel as much as one would think. He had a favorite place, and people would come to him. People would come to him from far away. Yes, I heard that too. His sermon, Sandra. That's Ruthie talking to Sandra. And yeah, thanks for refocusing me. Thank you, Ted Richards, RFK Jr. Right. So he spoke very well at the Trump Crusade in Arizona. He really did. And what he wants to work on is to get all this the chemicals out of the foods, especially that kids are eating, because it's causing all kinds of diseases. And Trump is very much for that. He's not anti clean air and clean food, clean water. He's not. He's just not for the crazy methods of the progressives that aren't going to pan out like they think. Um, so he spoke for quite a while. Trump gave him that platform, and the indication is that he'll be part of the administration. And they just love him. They just love him. If we can get a good portion of that 5 or 6 or 7% vote he has in swing states, that can turn the election. There are people that think this is going to be a runaway for President Trump, but then there are people that say stuff that scare me, like, "Oh, TikTok is going to play a major role," and the progressives, they say Democrats, they're not. Progressives are so much better with their memes and stuff. So and then there's all the other possibilities that they could employ, trying to hide ballots and things like that. I'm not saying anything about voting machines. I'm staying far away from that. I have no knowledge of it. You got to really be sure before you make these accusations. Vicky Smith having Elvis music at my dad's funeral. He was in the army with him. Wow. Loves his gospel. Yes, Elvis did some wonderful gospel. Doesn't necessarily mean when he sang it, he was saved. I say that, and I have to say it with conviction, because as he was doing those albums, he was also hanging with Larry Geller. And Larry Geller was mixing a whole bunch of things, but it was mostly mysticism, Eastern religion, Hinduism, maybe some Buddhism. And a born again Christian would say, "No, I don't do that anymore. I'm sorry, Larry. No, you're an interesting dude, and certainly you're welcome to keep cutting my hair and stuff. But um, the gospel is very clear that it's Jesus and nobody, Jesus plus nobody." RFK is also trying to fix the vaccine issue. Trump is not going to be so clear to get involved with that. Now, remember, if RFK joins the Trump administration, Trump is going to be the president. So where they meet, where Trump feels that he can, give him leadway, he will. But it's not going to be like RFK Jr. is going to be, the vice president. That's the job of J.D. Vance, and he's not going to, he's not going to push the new Green Deal. It's understood that they're going to work on the things that they agree with, and they agree on a whole lot of things. And one of the things that they agree on is today's Democratic Party has been totally overtaken by far leftist progressives that do not love this country, that want to transform this country, they are dismantling. That's what RFK Jr. said. Today's Democrats are dismantling democracy. They're dismantling that. And they also agree on the Ukraine thing. Folks, you just can't win a war with Vladimir Putin. It's nonsense. So what Trump will do is when he gets in there, he'll call up Vladimir and say, "Now we got to do something here. I've got things I want to work with you on. I think we can make some progress on things that's important to you, but we got to stop this Ukraine thing. We got to stop it." And I think Putin will listen. He respects Trump, and if not, he wants to use Trump for his agenda. Trump is crazy like a fox, though, and you won't walk all over him. He and I think Vladimir Putin kind of sees himself as well. He wants to be the Trump of Russia, and this Ukraine thing has been very bad publicity for Vladimir Putin. And he'll call up Xi and he'll say, now we've got to have you paying your fair share. We'll do some things that you want done. And, but I'm not looking to do what my predecessor's son, I'm not sending one of my children over to get on your payroll. What the heck is that? Send your son over to be on the Chinese payroll and the Ukrainian payroll when I don't think the guy was fit to run an Arby's. Ugh. Don't get me started, Ted Richards. Has to be an investigation about the teeth. Okay, I'm not going to go in the middle of that conversation. Here's Scott Baker, Jack for Secretary of State. Oh, there's so many good choices that they could pick for Secretary of State. He still likes Pompeo an awful lot. He still likes Pompeo, and I do too. Any man that can lose that much weight and look that good. I'll tell you what. Hearts Wild. My parents told me Trump said he was going to be a dictator. Oh, this is Trump putting things the wrong way. They said, will you be a dictator? And saying, no, I have no intentions of being a dictator. There are things I need to do for America. And on day one, it'll be drill, baby, drill. So Trump thought he was being cute. And he said, I'll be a dictator for one day when it comes to drilling. Drill, baby, drill. But just for one day. Stupid way to put it. Just like it was stupid to have a rally on January 6th and give them all that red meat. He said, march to the Capitol peacefully and patriotically. He offered Nancy Pelosi enough National Guard that nobody would have ever breached the Capitol, but she didn't want that. I think she thought what could happen and say, well, this would work to our advantage. Maybe, I'm just saying. So no, he did not say that. They take these things that Trump could have put much better. Like the whole thing in Charleston. Here's another big thing. There are some good people. There are some bad people, talking about the Proud Boys and the racist and what have you. And I'm sure there's some good people too. And people say, how could anybody that is for the old South racism be a good person? He explained that later, and they know this. He explained what he was saying is that he thought these monuments that they were tearing down as the savages that they are, he thought that there were kinfolk from generations far removed that we used to go to those monuments and say, this was my great-great-grandfather here. And they were very proud of that. So they would come there to look at those monuments, That's what he meant, but he could have put it so much better. Everybody's always on him to don't go off the rails because they're gonna twist it and they're gonna turn it into something that you never intended. So no, he's not going to be a dictator. When he said I'll be a dictator for one day, he was talking about he was going to start drilling again for oil, and he put it that way, which was just a dumb way to put it. But I think he's getting smarter about choosing his words more carefully. Okay, that's my story. Yeah, that's right. That's a good point, Ted. He relies on people to understand the humor, and his people do understand him and his humor. But it's the other people that just turn it around. Sadly, a lot of people don't get it right, and they don't want to get it because they're going to use it for their advantage. Two very brave men, Trump and RFK Jr. Amen, 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 Sandra. Speaking again out against eval. That's what they say on Dark Shadows sometimes. Eval in the country. I totally agree with you. Well, good night, Vicki Matthews. Thank you for stopping. I appreciate the fact that you did. Thank you. Thank you. Pompeo is a snake, says Jill. Well, I guess your mind is made up, so anything I could say. because he said negative things about Trump, I would imagine. Trump's a very forgiving man, and he really likes Pompeo. But I understand what you're saying. There was a time when he was saying things that were unfortunate, and there are other examples of that. But the fact that Trump can forgive, and he just, as you know, his first Secretary of State, he didn't get along with very well. But when he found Pompeo, he found someone that he could work with, and I think Pompeo regrets some of those statements, and he is all Trump. Well, what do you think about Jill, the governor of Georgia? How do you feel? He's 100% Trump now. He resented what was being said about the election being stolen in the state of Georgia and stuff. But that's all now water under the bridge. And the Governor Kemp is all for Trump, and he's working real hard to make sure there's no shenanigans in Georgia. He's Trump, Trump, Trump. So there would be another example. I don't know how you feel about Governor Kemp, but when you think about Stacey Abrams could have had that job, I mean, I think I'd rather have Macaroni the Clown. Now, you don't know Macaroni the Clown, but he's big here in Orange County. We went to see him. We went to the Florida Fun Fest. Jimmy Sturr played for 2 hours. And here was Macaroni the Clown making the rounds, and Karen wanted her picture with him. He's been around for decades, this guy. I think he's not that old, but he's been around for a long time. Everybody knows Macaroni. And so I took the picture, and then I turned away. And when I did, he looked at Karen and said, "Call me, call me." Oh, he was just clowning around, right? I don't think so. And I don't blame him. So I'm gonna have a good talk with Macaroni. But I was married to a clown, a real clown, so I understand. After the incident, his demeanor is less vigor, and who could blame him after something like that happening? He is different. Some of that bravado is coming back, though, and I think he knows it's time to get down to brass tacks. That's an interesting thing. I never thought of what that meant. Brass tacks. What is brass tacks? I've heard it all my life, and you just reminded me, Jody, that I have no idea what it means. Brass tacks. As this country has so much at stake now. Oh, you couldn't be more right about that, Jody. Jody Foster. I mean, really. Somebody new coming in. Oh, I haven't shown you my emergency power bar and my emergency formula. Somebody wanted me to do that today, so I brought it upstairs. That's coming. Stand by for my survival bar that is good till 2029 at least. I just don't know when I'm supposed to open it, but I'm going to open one on air in just a few minutes. So, Emery Randall, how are you? Okay, so this is not for you, buddy. You got off to a great start there, there are plenty of groups where you might find yourself, you know, happy. Well, at least he didn't approach it slowly. Oh dear. I mean, heck, there are groups out there talking nonstop about Taylor Swift. It's not for me. I don't have anything against Taylor. I know that she's the number one star in the universe. I get it. I know that that she uh, puts out more product than I can even fathom, and that she seems nice to her fans and stuff. But I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I've never heard that magic song from her. Not that I've given her that much of a chance. I listened to her songs and said they're not bad. So I don't go on Taylor Swift groups, because I know it's not for me. Faith Lloyd. Yeah, that's right. Petey was the Our Gang dog. Joey Bauer Jr. saying hello to Hearts Wild. Cindy Cheney, not Liz Cheney, thank God. Can I change the subject for a sec? I like that. Israel and Hezbollah are bombarding each other right now. Really? Really. Pray for the peace of Israel. Thank you, Cindy. I go into another world when I'm here. And the Iron Dome can only handle so much. That's another thing. President Trump wants to have an Iron Dome for us. Not a bad idea, right? Go Trump all the way. Um, oh, I see what you did, Marlene. That's funny that you do those emojis because Macaroni the Clown did an opening for this cesspool service company. They come and clean your tank, and take that emoji and put it into a costume with arms and legs, and here's Macaroni standing next to it with and he had a nice bow tie on. The being in the costume had a nice bow tie that made it classy. You made me think of that. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, let's see here. Oh, I mean, we are live. I had to bring my sound machine back up into existence because there were some days I definitely didn't need the fan, and I definitely didn't need the AC or even the fan in the AC on. I must have sound when I'm sleeping. Okay. Be funny after I do all this, I can't find the control. That would be so me. But I thank you for joining us for Worldwide Rambling. 60s and 70s. Is that your kind of music there, Jill? I mean, Ruthie? I love the 60s and 70s, and I love the 50s too. Here it is. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Well, I usually go to Fox, but it is Saturday night, and the best field reporters are on CNN. So I hate to give them a rating, but I mean, when you get Nick Robertson and there's so many of them. Of course, Christiane, although she's not as objective as she used to be. Alexa, go to CNN on Sling. That's right, we have Sling. It's only for something like war coverage I would tune in. I cannot stand Hearts Wild, the anchors. They've all sold out, if you ask me. Now on the weekends, they have the Australian chap, is he? The blonde-headed guy, Michael Holmes, and he's pretty good. But if you watch long enough, the liberal comes out in him. Old school liberal, but nevertheless, he's from Atlanta. He broadcasts from Atlanta. Oh, Wolf Blitzer is there, so you know something big when you see Wolf. Jim Shuto. It's already morning, so it's probably going to stop once it's daylight, right? Israel launches preemptive strikes in Lebanon as Hezbollah is seen preparing missile and rocket attack. So we're kind of in the trying to get it so that screen, it's not usually that white like that. You never know. I thought that would do something. I really did. Sure made me look dark. I didn't expect to be messing with the TV. Thank you, Jody Smith, for hitting the thanks button for $1. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate that. I thought they were going to think about that a little bit more because even Putin said, "Don't be hitting civilians in Israel." He said that to Iran, you know, and Iran said, "Oh, Putin's weighing in. We better rethink things." And they didn't strike, but now things may be changing. And then there's Hezbollah. You know, do they have a mind of their own, or do they listen? Jody is hitting us with dollar donations on the credit card. Thank you very much, Jody. I appreciate that. To anybody who hits the thanks button, or if you want to use the Cash App, it's Media Guy 56, all lowercase, Media Guy 56. That's what I get. During the day, I get it better, you know. See, what I can see perfectly, you can't see. About 200 rockets launched from Lebanon towards Israel. So we will keep a watch on that. And Jody goes up to $2. Thank you, Jody. Um, so we're up to five there. Thank you very much, Jody Smith. Um, I appreciate that so much. Jill said, I made my living doing 40s, 50s, 60s for 30 years. Except when you see pictures of Jill, she looks to be about 22 years old. One of the most amazing things in my lifetime. So there you go. Thanks for that update. We'll keep a watch on that. We'll keep a watch on that. We will. Hello, Pam Nisley. Pray for the uncontrolled huge fires in Wyoming and Montana that lightning caused. Much livestock lost. Oh boy, unimaginable. In Montana, Wyoming as well. Thank you for praying for strength for ranchers and firefighters, also for rain. Thank you for that update, Pam. I bet you they won't even cover that here. I bet you they might have mentioned it for like, 40 seconds. Heart's wild. She is wild. Pam is here? Pam Nisley. Yeah, yeah, I understand. You're responding to what she said. I was thinking of Pam Donnelly for a minute there. Jack, you're too kind, but you're way off base on my age. I've told you the truth. Yes, I know. I know. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking that I want to actually say? See, this is what Trump needs to do. When he's about to say something, he has to. Oh my goodness, Jody Smith, with your continuing hitting of the thanks button. Thank you very much. Um, well, I'm being honest when I say that I thought you about. I thought you were in your 20s when you sent me that picture from your road trip. Let's just put it that way. I'm trying to be careful here. Food prices still going higher. Of course they are. Yeah. Well, we can't do anything about the food prices in Canada. You got to get rid of Trudeau. But yeah, what happens in America reflects on Canada, and what happens in Canada hurts America. We're neighboring countries, for goodness sakes. For goodness sakes, I got the hippie shakes. I've had no surgeries or any work done. I've got good genes. Yes. Well, good genes never hurt. I mean, in the 70s, I got Jordache, because all the kids were getting Jordache. I had to have Jordache genes too. I didn't want those Lees then, I wanted something really groovy and flares or bell bottoms. That's what I wanted. Did you have bell bottoms, Jill? Oh, I know you did. I don't have to ask. Um, who is who we talking to, Ted? And then we got these two astronauts stuck in space till February. Give me a break. Give me a break. Karen sent me a picture of one, the female. I got to get to my magic powder that I just got this week. She sent it to me, but it must be in a text. That's what it is. It's in a text. Yeah, it's the. There's Michael Holmes. I knew it. I knew he'd be on. Israel conducts preemptive strikes. So Israel was they struck the first blow against Hezbollah. I do like Michael Holmes. And, as I say, the field reporters, Ben Wiedemann, these are great people. And they would have more in place quicker than Fox in terms of in foreign countries. But I won't watch those evening anchors. I won't watch the daytime anchors on CNN. Not at all. So there she is with another man, with a man. Just her and a guy astronaut stuck there maybe past Christmas. They say they have enough food, but it's not going to be something great. And there they are stuck. Why does it take that long to get them out of there? Give me a break. I wouldn't want to go. If I were the next team, I'd say forget it. Forget it. So, what are they doing to pass the time? I'll move on. Um, Food prices ballooned. And, I've always heard that it's the economy, stupid. So, if the economy is bad, that means Kamala is guaranteed to lose. But this is a bunch of young voters coming up, the XYZ generation, and they're not as easy to predict. I mean, did you look at the crowd in the DNC? I mean, it didn't look like any DNC convention I ever saw. Oh, there were some old people, but predominantly it looked like the kind of people that would have been protesting saying kill the Jews outside of the convention. They're trying to tie President Trump to anti-Semitism, while they have people screaming kill the Jews right outside their convention, right next to the abortion van. Give me a break. Give me a break. So God will not be mocked. So I think God will, when in his timing, because his ways are not my ways, he will make his feelings known real well, real well. Because Hezbollah has been seen preparing missile and rocket attacks, so they're not going to wait. Israel, they're doing a preemptive strike to try and stop that. So that does make sense. That's the reason that Israel is drawing first blood on this one. That's the reason. So that's the world we live in 2024. Now let me get to my promised new products that I got. Try to get my gut in the best working order. I saw on Facebook, I saw the commercial for this, and I don't often respond to those kind of offers, but this one made a whole lot of sense to me. I've always loved Chuck Norris, and here his company, is Roundhouse Provisions. Roundhouse Provisions. And this is Morning Kick. Morning Kick, a lovely powder filled with so many wonderful things. You take a scoop a day, and 8 ounces of water. It's a green mixture that you're going to be drinking, says the announcer. He says it tastes something like strawberry lemonade. I just turn off my taste buds and drink the 8 ounces, and I instantly feel good. I feel good in my tummy, you know. He's got all kinds of things in here. Kickstart your day with these powerful ingredients designed to add healthy digestion, support overall nutrition absorption, and help you manage stress. There is ashwagandha in here as well as the supplement that I take every night. It's very small to read, but there's a lot of special greens in here. So I started taking this about 3, 4 days ago. It's the first thing I take every day. It's it's a little pricey, but not terrible. It's 2 meals at McDonald's, you know, but you're only getting this for once a month. So there you go. 2 meals at McDonald's when you have a family of four, say. So I took my morning kick, but it also came this first dose with these because Chuck is into, end time survival. It came with this buttery lemon shortbread cookie flavor bar. It's got the name Chuck Norris on there, picture of Chuck wearing his cowboy hat. And here it is, survival mode emergency ration bar. Now, this is good supposedly to at least 2029. I just don't know when I'm supposed to open it. Will there come a time when I have to open this? And where's my bomb shelter? Because if there's radiation around, this isn't going to help. But I thought, since I have a box of these, I would open one now. And it's very thick. I couldn't just rip it open with my hands. So 105 watching right now. So let's see what this thing looks like. Ay, ay, ay. Almost looks like fudge. Okay, I've broken off half of it. It looks like maple fudge. I love maple fudge. But this is a survival bar with a lot of preservatives, but it's got some good stuff. But it's not low cal. It's like 470 calories because it's a meal, you know? All right, here goes. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. That's Chuck Norris. That's pretty good. Doesn't really taste like lemon. Tastes kind of coconutty. It's like it's an interesting texture. It's like it's almost like you're eating dust, but a very tasty dust. That's the only way I can say it. But it isn't bad. I'll have another bite. I'm going to save some for Karen to eat. Yeah, that's fine. And Chuck Norris, Roundhouse. Easy to find on Amazon. I like it. As I say, the powder, the morning kick, not my favorite flavor, but just drink it down. It's better if you chill your water in the fridge than put your 8 ounces in your glass. I like to see what I'm drinking in this case. So I do that every morning, and I have my Atkins shake later. And I'm trying to do my walking and everything else. It is not bad, Kathleen Whataburger. It's pretty good. Not so much the drink, but it's full of all kinds of exotic greens and things like that. And of Brought to you by Jack Radio. Well, I need sponsors, Ted. That's a good idea, you know. I mean, I've been saying for a few weeks now I should be a spokesman for Camzyos, my cardiomyopathy medicine, because it's been working for me, and I praise God for that because it's all in God's hands. And next month on the 6th, I got to go back down to Westchester. And you know what? The Mario Cuomo Bridge, which was supposed to be good for 100 years, half of it is in need of repair. I go over that bridge. I don't think I can avoid it coming the way I come from, unless I take a boat over or a train. I could take the train, pick it up in Beacon. It'd take me right down there. I could get off. I don't think I'd have too far to even walk to Westchester Medical Center. But yeah, I could do that. But we drive right over the Mario Cuomo Bridge, formerly the Tappan Zee Bridge, but not really because they tore the Tappan Zee down after the Mario Cuomo Bridge. And now half of the Mario Cuomo Bridge is in need of repair. So I really don't want to be going over there on the 6th or coming back on the 6th and end up in the Hudson River. It's not the way I want to go, you know. Just don't want to go that way. What do you think, Marlene, with all your your emojis? I see a knife and fork. You're very creative. Let's say it's actually pretty good. The old Tappan Zee, yes. That was the joke, Ted Richards. The requirement was you drive halfway over the bridge, you get out, and you lean down to the roadway, and you tap on the bridge. Wasn't my story. Wasn't my story, Barbara Kendall from the famous Kendalls. Gas and water is high, too. Sure it is. Sure it is. We can do much better. But if we mess November 5th up, if the evil forces have their way, we're pretty much toast. You know, I'm going to get pretty quiet about it then, because, they're going to be looking for, it's just going to be a whole new America. We need to win this election. And I can't believe it, but this Trump derangement syndrome, because you don't like what he said, to Billy Bush, or you don't like what he said this or that, so you're going to throw away your vote. Can't do that. Can't do that. Not this time. It's too important. Jill is finding something very funny. And by the way, Jill, your husband's a hottie too. I mean, I'm putting it from the perspective of a female, of course. He's a good-looking man, and he's a little older than you. So I'll tell you, the two of you should start your podcast. Should start a podcast. I recommend it. Start a podcast. Some military MREs are actually delicious, Jody Smith says. Okay. Yeah. And you can get your Patriot kits. I bet you Chuck Norris sells those too, because I can tell he's into this stuff. But his powder is, what are the benefits of it? See, if I take an Atkins shake in the morning, oh boy, how do I put this? I'm leery to go out the door anytime soon. You know what I mean? If I take Chuck Norris, I'm cool. But after a meal, that could be a different story. Yeah, but I still take my Atkins shakes because they serve a function too, and they replace a meal. But last night, after we saw the Bunker Boys and their bluegrass show, I had my morning kick, and then I followed it up with my hot tea with half and half in it, my Tetley British blend, and then I went into I had a bran muffin from Di Filippi's. They make the best bran muffins, Di Filippi's Italian bakery, now run by Hasidic Jews in downtown Middletown. It's legendary. They kept the same crew. They're not stupid. And so, they're still talking about the preemptive strikes, which are over now because it's daylight, Um, So I had my bran muffin with a little butter on it. I must admit, I put butter, and it's got raisins in it. It's big. It's good, and enjoyed that very much. And that was it. I finished that by, I don't know, 1 o'clock, whatever. And that was it. And now it's 9 o'clock at night, and we've just seen the Bunker Boys with our friends Ted, no, Sean and Norma. And right across the street is a pizza place. And I'm saying, Karen, I am starving. I am starving. And we don't usually go to pizza places we don't know about because, you can really regret it. But there was a place across the street, and they had the big open sign was still on. Because as you get into the 9 o'clock hour, you wonder, because sure enough, when we went in there at 9 o'clock, some of the chairs were on top of the tables. They had started the process. So I said to the nice young lady who will be 23 in about 2 minutes, she will turn 23. Karen, I think Karen might have gotten her name, but she's about to turn 23 years old. She has two jobs, works all the time, she says. Very nice. And she's like the manager there. And she said, no, we're open to 10. You go sit right down. What would you like? And I said, because Karen and I had talked about it, have a pie with half sausage and half mushrooms. And it wouldn't be the food I was supposed to be choosing now, but I didn't want McDonald's, which was just down the road, which lays in your stomach. I could have enjoyed a Big Mac meal. I could have, but I didn't want to do that. So instead, we had pizza, and we always bring a few slices home for Andy. And oh, it was like I devoured that. My love for pizza was in high gear, and it was a little different than I'm used to, but it was really good. The sauce was good. The cheese was good. And I devoured that. Karen was pretty hungry too. We loved it so much. And then we took two slices home for Andy, which means I had, yeah, you can probably do the math. I had four slices. That's how hungry I was. Karen had two. If she had wanted more, I just would have said, I saw they had some pepperonis on the shelf. We'll take a couple of those home for Andy. So that's what we did. But usually I try to be good. I try to be good. Was pretty good today. People are crazy, Joey, but that includes you, Joey, and that includes me. We're all crazy to some degree. It's the people that don't know that they're a little crazy that are probably full tilt bozo. It's just, everybody's got that side. Everybody's got that side. As I say, once they know your secrets, it will humble you greatly. It will humble you. He's 2 years older. That's right. I remember you said he was 76. We've been married 54 years. Wow, that's incredible. Was there ever a time in that 54 years you thought you were in serious trouble, but you found a way around it, that kind of thing? I'm now playing marriage counselor here and wanting you to share your personal business. Don't mind me. I'm just saying whatever comes to mind. I lost my filter. I'm on the way to losing my filter. Our music profession has kept us young. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yes. Trump derangement syndrome. That's what they have, Ruthie. They just hate Trump, and so they're willing to see the country go down the tubes rather than him assume office again. And it just can't be that way this time. We just can't. Um, Kamala Harris is bad news. And a few months ago, nobody wanted her. But now, their tune has changed because that's who they have. So they'll go all in on Kamala and this awful governor of Minnesota who stood by while his state burned. And he was very pro BLM. Well, this is what happens when you don't have equity. Equity to them means that someone who doesn't do anything with their life, that doesn't make any effort, has the same kind of blessings than someone that applies themselves and believes in themselves. Denzel Washington was not going to stand by and be anything but what he wanted to be. He knew from the start what he wanted to do. I mean, from an early age, that he didn't just want to be an actor. He wanted to be a movie star. So when he got St. Elsewhere, which was a great show with William Daniels, you remember him? He's still alive and he's in his 90s. It was a great show, great start, but it wasn't going to be good enough for him because he was on his way to being a movie star. So when one of his co-stars that I don't think he's done much that I've seen lately, um, said, "You want to do Dancing with the Stars? You know, we get to kind of promo our show on ABC, even though we're on NBC, and it'd be really good, and it's a lot of fun. You want to do Dancing with the Stars? Not Dancing with the Stars." Battle of the Network Stars. I'm sorry. Battle of the Network Stars, where you're going to play all kind of sports games and stuff like that. Could get injured. That's a problem. But a lot of the stars of television, especially, were doing it. Television stars and Battle of the Network Stars. Okay. And Denzel said, no, movie stars don't do Battle of the Network Stars. Um, and the co-star said, well, Denzel, you're not a movie star. He said, no, but I'm going to be. I'm going to be. He knew then. He knew then that he was going to be one of the biggest stars of our generation. Nobody told him he couldn't do it. And Morgan Freeman, as he tried to school Don Lemon, told him the same thing. He said, by the way, I don't, what's this thing about a Black History Month? I don't want a month. Morgan Freeman says, can, can, uh, can you have a White History Month? And Don Lemon said, well, no, you really couldn't. He says, well, I don't want a month either. I don't want a month either. How about People History Month? We've got to get past this. We've got to get past this. We're all created by the same God, black, white, red, green. Well, I'm talking about the aliens now, or people that ate something really bad. Enough of that. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes in here, or close. All right, 2 minutes and coming up on 2 hours and 2 minutes. One Hip Chick, I miss so much. I will definitely watch the replay. That's because you're loyal, and I thank you so much. Hello, replay crowd. I'm so glad you're here. Belinda Lemon is here. And One Hip Chick says that I have been busy today doing yard work and house stuff. I understand. And it's not even fall yet. But yeah, you gotta get that lawn in shape, right? Anastasia is here. Hello, Anastasia. Anastasia. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody I missed? I'm sorry. Oh, yes, that's right. Howie Mandel was on St. Elsewhere. He got his star there. So he got his start there. So that's two big stars that came out of that show. But of course, the biggest star is Denzel by far. But Howie got Deal or No Deal, for goodness sakes. Deal or No Deal. Yeah. And one of the beautiful women, somewhat scantily clad, let's be honest, holding one of those cases was Meghan Markle, smiling broadly, happy to get the gig. And then later on, she just stabs the show in the back like she stabbed the queen and everybody else. He's a backstabber. They smile in your face all the time. They're trying to take your place. The backstabbers. Oh, it's a sexist thing having the girls, the women, stand there with the suitcases with a number in it or whatever. But you didn't think so when you took the job, you know. Someone was saying they were surprised that at the Olympics this year, you know, the girls playing volleyball, women playing volleyball, sorry, and the women swimming. Oh, dear, that hadn't changed. Same kind of costumes, you know. Um, what do you think about that? I won't give my opinion. Kathleen Whataburger. What do you think about that, Jill? Let's see here. That's right, the OJs. I love music, any kind of music. Let's get aboard the love train, Ted Richards. Let's get away from these evil progressives and climb the love train. And maybe when they see what real love is, they'll stop trying to destroy America. That would be a good thing. That would be a good thing. Oh, here's Ben Wiedemann. This is why I would watch CNN. There's nobody better than Ben Wiedemann. He's in Jerusalem. You can't really see him, but they're striking terror targets in Lebanon, where they think those rockets are going to be launched from. President Biden is closely monitoring events in Israel and Lebanon, even though he's hooked up to his CPAP and is sound asleep. That's right, Anastasia. The OJs. Good group. Good group. Looking at the book of Galatians, chapter 5, Paul's letter to the Galatians, beginning with verse 13. You, my brothers, were called to be free. That's what the new covenant gives us, freedom. But do not use your freedom to indulge the sinful nature. Rather, serve one another in love. The entire law is summed up in a single command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you keep on biting and devouring each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed. You will destroy each other. So I say, live by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature. For the sinful nature desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the sinful nature. They are in conflict with each other, so that you do not do what you want. But if you are led by the Spirit, you're not under the law. The acts of the sinful nature are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity and debauchery, idolatry, and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and that alike. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the sinful nature with its passions and desires. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking, and envying each other. The Word of God from the book of Galatians, 5th chapter, NIV. You see. Amen, amen. We're all going to have to answer to God, but, there's a lot of evil Republicans, too. There's a lot of just sinful Republicans, I know about that. So we kind of have to, we have to. I understand that it's perfectly fine to point out the evilness of the progressive agenda, but we all need God's grace because we all sin. Lou Valentine got an interview with Trump. Amazing, amazing. Oh dear. Prayers for the child that passed in the bus incident. Yeah, always a lot of things to pray for at night as we end our day. But the Bible says pray unceasingly, so we can pray at any time. Thank you, Jill. I so appreciate that. I'm glad you were blessed by that scripture. So thank you, everybody, for watching us here on Worldwide Ramblings. For this Saturday night replay crowd, you're terrific. TV now, you can almost see it. It's getting better. We'll be back soon. We'll pop on to pop off. Please watch the videos here. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for you replay people. If you don't see the thanks button where you are in this video right away, go to a recent video and you can hit the thanks button there with your tip of any amount. Thanks again. Talk to you real soon. You're special people, and I appreciate you very much. Have a great Sunday.